The minister is suing Zuma for 500,000 rand for claiming he was a known enemy agent. Our reporter is Mlungisi Khumalo. He is outside the court. Mdungwa, a very good morning to you. What's happening where you are?
Good morning to you, Des, and a good morning to our viewers at home. Where I'm sitting currently right now, we are at the Durban High Court. Really nothing much is actually happening right here. We also understand now that former President Jacob Zuma will not be in court today because we are also told that his lawyers will be arguing the case together with the lawyers of Hanekom. Now you understand this matter actually goes back when Julius Malema, the EFF leader, took to Twitter and said that Hanekom and other ANC leaders in parliament had actually approached them and they've actually plotted to actually oust Jacob Zuma as being the president of the country during the vote of no confidence. And of course, after that, Mr. Jacob Zuma then took to Twitter and actually told the whole entire country that he's not surprised by Julius Malema's utterances that Hanekom was actually one of the people that actually plotted to vote for him in the vote of no confidence. In fact, he went on to further say that he has always known that Hanekom has always been an agent and working with the apartheid government of the past. But to tell me more about today's court proceedings, actually, I have somebody over here, an ANC member who's actually come out over here to listen to the case, and she will also give us her views. Thank you very much, Louise. I mean, interesting times where comrades of the ANC are now taking each other to court and calling each other all sorts of names.
I think that's a sad reflection, but I think the more important thing is that Derek has come to court in order to protect his name, which has been vilified, as an upstanding comrade who has served this country and the ANC with absolute distinction. And I'm here in support of him as a leader who had the courage to stand up and do what we believe and know to be the right thing. When he saw the rot that was happening in government and in the leadership, he was one of the few who had the courage to stand up. And for that, he deserves to be lauded, not vilified, and I'm definitely here in support of that. I'm also here in support of Sipiwe Nyanda and Gwako Ramatlodi. These are comrades who have served their entire life, all of them, and now they can just be vilified and falsely alleged to be spies. This is not the way we should be behaving.
Louise, you've worked very closely with Hanekom. You're also an MK member who was in exile.
Yes, Derek and I were on the Yeovil branch committee together, and we have worked in the arena of development. And of course, as a comrade in the struggle, I always knew of him. I didn't work directly with him, and I know him to be a comrade with the courage and the courage of his convictions.
So you are also definitely of the view that Hanekom was never an apartheid agent?
Absolutely. And if you falsely allege that somebody is a spy, you need to come with that kind of proof. And this suggestion here and suggestion there and labeling people agents is just doing a disservice to the ANC itself.
Thank you very much, Louise. That's Louise, an ANC member and an ANC stalwart and an activist who's also a former MK member. Now we understand, Desiree, like I mentioned earlier on, that we do not expect to see former President Jacob Zuma in court here today. We also do not expect to see the former Minister of Tourism, Hanekom. But what we are also told then is that the matter will be discussed and argued both by their courts. Now we also understand over here, Desiree, that Hanekom wants former President Jacob Zuma to come out and apologize, and he also wants him to produce evidence to the whole entire country by saying that he was an agent of the apartheid government. And we also understand as well that Hanekom wants 500,000 rand as a way of compensation because he says this has actually tarnished his reputation, and he also believes that his image has changed, especially amongst the ANC comrades. Now also, we also understand that as soon as the tweets actually came out, we had a number number of ANC members who were in full support of Jacob Zuma's statements, also saying that they want Hanekom to also clear his name. And we also understand as well that some members of the ANC had called upon the ANC leadership to actually reprimand Derek Hanekom for actually siding with the opposition party in parliament in the vote of no confidence against the former President Jacob Zuma.
Dunga, thank you so much for that update. This week will be a historic one for